I was definitely skeptical about working with someone online. In Canada, our healthcare is largely free. And so anytime you go online, it seems like it's probably going to be expensive. And then you also don't know how effective it will be, whether they are who they say they are, whether they can deliver on their promises. So yes, definitely lots of skepticism working with someone online. So when I had the diagnosis of piriformis syndrome and sciatica, I did go online and tried to do some basic research about what I could be doing to address the issue. And your group came up immediately on Facebook. And so I asked to join, and I'm a person who does go through all of the previous questions, reads all the posted videos, went to your YouTube channel, and I could see that you really did know what you were talking about. And so I was immediately hooked from that, just because I could tell that you had a lot more knowledge on this topic than most people, for sure. So my name is Kerri, and I'm 51 now, and I love my job. And I spend a lot of time at work. And the only downside of that is that it does involve a lot of sitting, which is one of the triggers for sciatica. So I do have to really balance the rest of my lifestyle with the amount of sitting that I do for work. In terms of what I do when I'm not working, I'm a runner. And yeah, having an injury to the SI joint and the piriformis muscle and having sciatica is about the worst condition that a runner can come down with. And so I was very motivated to heal as quickly as I could so I could get back to running. And my doctor and Dean, when I met with him, were unanimous that running needed to be put aside for a little while. I actually fell. I slipped on a wet floor in wearing heels and landed hard on my side on a wet concrete floor. And I jumped up like you do when you're surrounded by other people falling, and kind of shook it off. And I hit everything on the way down. So I just assumed that I just really badly bruised the left side of my body. Shook it off. Next day, went back to my normal running workout, back to the gym. But the pain in my glute on that side and the pain going down my leg was actually getting worse every day, not better. And so I thought that was odd. And I didn't even make the connection with the fall. But I made those adjustments where I sat a little bit less. I actually exercised more. I stretched more, especially the painful side. I was stretching the heck out of it, thinking that, stretching would fix it. And it just got worse and worse. And so that's why I had to look for other solutions. So, of course, I whined about my pain on Facebook, like people do. And one of my Facebook friends is a chiropractor, and he reached out to me and said that he specializes in sciatica and piriformis syndrome and offered to treat it, insisted that he treated it successfully all the time. So I went for a few chiropractor appointments, and it got worse and worse and worse, to the point that my third visit to the chiropractor, I actually crawled into his office. I was in so much excruciating pain, I could barely sit down to drive. And when I shared that this was getting worse with the chiropractor, he actually said it's because I wasn't going in frequently enough. So I finally, which is what I should have done in the first place, made an appointment with my family doctor. He actually moved me into a few positions in his office, and he could tell immediately. He said, this is absolutely piriformis syndrome and sciatica. And he actually prescribed physical therapy, but I didn't actually make the appointment just yet. By that time, I had found Dean Voke's group on Facebook and joined the group, was really impressed with everything I was seeing. He very clearly understood this condition, was giving really interesting advice to others, and it was all things that I hadn't tried yet. And meanwhile, my condition was getting worse. I was barely functioning. It seemed like everything that I did was making my pain worse. So I was definitely paying attention to Dean's advice. And then when Dean offered to do a video consultation, I jumped on the chance, because at this point I was desperate. I was in pain. I could barely get to work every day. So at that point, I was really open to hearing what Dean had to say. And so I met Dean with a video consultation, and within 15 minutes of taking his advice, trying some of the moves that he showed me in that conversation, I already felt immediate relief to my pain. And then not only that, but when I woke up the next day, I still felt that relief, and I repeated some of the moves and advice that he had shown me, and again, relief. And I just felt like at that point, I started to turn the course in my treatment. And that was from not even a 30-minute conversation with Dean. And I felt like I'd turned the corner and I could see a light at the end of the tunnel. So I am now almost 3 years pain-free, free of sciatica, free of Piriformis syndrome. And I attribute that entirely to the advice that Dean provided to me in that video consultation, and through his videos and through responding to questions in the Facebook group. And then very slowly I started running again, and was able to, within a year of meeting Dean, was able to work back to my same 10K races. And then within another year was able to go back to running half marathons. So fully recovered. No pain to this day. I can run as long and as far as I want without pain in my joints. So my advice to anyone who is suffering from sciatica and/or Piriformis syndrome is to read through all of Dean's comments, watch his YouTube channel, buy his book, but he is by far the biggest expert on this topic that I have met through this whole journey. I work in the healthcare industry. I do a ton of research about my health. I deal with healthcare providers every day at work, and I've never met a better expert in this particular condition than Dean. So I cannot recommend for people enough not to take advantage of every opportunity that Dean presents, because it's immediate help, it's life-changing help, it's good advice. There is no quick fix for this syndrome, is what I will say to you. There is no quick fix. But if you want a full recovery and to return to your previous pain-free life, Dean is the only person that I've met who has the path for doing that.